go.
Okay, no meows. Welcome back to Faraam Saga. Yes, of course. Welcome back to Faraam Saga. I'm your DM, Aethir, and these are my wonderful players.
Hiyo.
Hey.
Yo.
Where last we left off, the party had explored a major city, including Aiden off on his own little side adventure. They found one item that will certainly solve at least a bit of the problem, and, well, now it's time to gather back together.
Let's hope we can find each other.
Isn't it the middle of the night or something?
It's just a little bit into the night now.
Mm-hmm. So,
Now then,
I think the people who are together are Ronia, Last, Phyllis, and Xion.
Xion. Yes.
Sounds right.
Along with your one NPC companion for that group first.
Yes.
I'm all alone. Well, except for Roderick and Little B.
I was just about to say, you have the lovely Roderick with you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Why did you say my name?
Hmm?
Yeah. I think you said Ellen.
Oh?
Okay. Whatever.
Anyways,
Ghost Ellen and Noyers aside.
where would the group like to head in order to try and reconvene?
Last will project a very large neon sign into the air saying, "Last is here," and with an arrow pointing down at her.
Yep, in the middle of, well, close to in the middle of the night, a neon sign. Yeah, that will work. Pretty much.
When all
everyone
you
sees
have is a hammer.
it.
This is fair.
So I'm guessing I see this.
Given where you stopped at, I'm not perfectly certain. Let me check. Would you be waiting exactly where you said you'd be stopping, or would you be wandering around the area a little bit?
Wandering around the area a little bit.
Okay, then yes, you will see them at least somewhat approaching the general area.
I was just about to ask if you were going to make the mistake of never look up.
No, I kind of figured and stuff before and everything, like, they're either going to come back to where we split up, or Lass is going to put up a sign.
Fair enough. Fair assumption.
So, I guess I'll start walking towards the sign.
Let me check one thing real quick. I guess the roles room will see some use.
Speaking of, may I please have a link?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
After just a short time of waiting, or continually moving, depending on how the group decides that they'd rather attract the attention, you start to see people approaching. You've got Aiden's party, which will be arriving first, along with one person coming from behind, but, well, you'd be immediately recognize Anatu, and you don't see anybody else approaching at this point.
Okay. Last smiles and waves. Hi, Aiden. Hi, Anatu. Where were you guys?
Well, I was asking around, about Percy and everything back at the Merchants District.
That's probably smart.
Anatu will write out that she had just been mostly window shopping.
Ooh, that's fair. Did you see anything that looked good?
Not
Also, do
particularly.
you have any money?
No.
That makes any kind of shopping more complicated, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. So, also, how much did I get for the ring exactly?
After everything's said and done, you were able to find a retailer who was willing to pay you around 44 gold for it in all. Unless you actually have something that increases your sell rates, which I don't think you do.
Nah. Other than, like, negotiation skills and stuff.
Yeah, that's part of the boost that you did get.
How much does a ring sell for?
The regular base price for selling is 40% of the value, which is a 100 gold ring, from what I recall.
Yeah, I haven't heard of a gold value for the ring, so I don't know.
I still have mine.
Last still has hers.
100
She thinks
gold.
it's just the prettiest thing.
I'd need at least 156 to make a permanent item or a infinite item of gates to a specific dimension.
If you talk to Last about it, she might be willing to see if she can help you with that.
Do you have the are you able to create magic items?
Probably not. But she does have reinforce, so she might be able to do something with that.
Nah, I think you need the spell curation and maybe have like a talent for it.
Well, I was thinking more if she could just find a way to get you some more money.
Okay. Phyllis can summon gold.
That seems kind of illegal-ish.
It is. It's very illegal.
Yeah, don't do that.
But anyway, sorry.
Is Aiden like hearing any of this? Is this an actual conversation going on, or?
I'm not sure it is,
No.
but Last will say, okay, so what we did was we went around and tried to talk to some people, and we met another golem, but he didn't know he was a golem, and I made him know he was a golem, and I'm not sure that was a good thing. But then there was, we saw some of the guards and talked to some people, and we got an anti-curse thingy that we're borrowing.
Good. You think that could help us with, like, everyone back at Evering?
Yeah, and we told the guards about Percy and to watch out for him.
I did the same. I met one of the knights and everything, in West Block. Which, by the way, we should probably be careful. Apparently they're able to, like, watch magic activity fairly okay-ish.
Like, watch?
Yeah, like, they were able to detect, like, people coming in and out and everything using gate.
Like Lascam?
Yeah.
Well, I can't use gate, but
Well, like
I guess that kind of makes sense.
like you can like see or detect magic.
Oh, right! I hadn't even quite thought of that.
Yeah. I also found out that so Percy is probably traveling with I can't remember her name. The rich asshole lady. Kantia.
That's,
I'll still describe her as the rich asshole lady.
That's a bit problematic.
Yeah. I don't know why they're traveling together. But they were heading towards the North District, apparently.
He's probably just a useful fool.
Wait, Percy's traveling with... This kind of clicks in Last's head after a moment, and she looks horrified.
Well, I'm guessing that they don't know each other. It's just that, I don't know, maybe they ran into each other and stuff. They were both heading in the same direction.
But she might not be safe.
Well, no, but then again, she's never really, like, helped us with anything. But if we can find her and everything, she can probably lead us to Percy. I mean, we don't really have any issue with her.
Isn't she
mean-
the asshole?
Yeah, she is, but that doesn't mean she deserves to get exploded on.
No.
Well, no.
Maybe
But we'll try and find her and
maybe
everything.
if Percy finds it to be useful, he'll let her be. Or the other way around.
I hope so.
Anyway, we should probably find somewhere to just sleep for the night.
Oh, right.
We need
So
to
far-
get...
I know an inn that the knight told me about.
We need to find Lauren again.
Did the knight also tell the pricings over here?
Yeah, it's a gold and everything for a meal, a drink, and a night stay.
Oh, that's really cheap. Good.
Yeah. And I was able to sell the ring and stuff, so I have enough for everybody.
I think I can pay for myself.
This may sound weird. They are cheaper than Ernst.
Cheaper than what?
They are cheaper than Ernie.
Yeah.
Well, let's go.
I guess that makes sense, because Ernie has less people. They probably have a whole bunch of people who want to stay.
Possibly. Also, maybe just give me the gold and stuff and I'll pay, because I think they were giving me a discount on my charming nature.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
And
that's
last gives you 1 gold.
San also gives 1 gold.
Phyllis will give 1 gold. Does Phyllis need a better phone?
Well, technically speaking, you haven't asked how big the rooms are yet, even.
Yeah.
No, I haven't. So we can find out how big the rooms are, but I'll
Okay.
pay and you can pay me back and everything.
Okay.
That way we get the cheapest rate.
I can just make my own bed. I can make beds for all of us. Do I get a practice day from last session?
Yes, you do.
Yes.
It'll
we'll
be
go ahead.
nice to take. It'll be nice to get some rest. I've done a lot of magicking today.
So anyway, we'll head back to the Laughing Boar. Or no, what was it? The Laughing
Badger.
Badger. That's what it was.
All right.
Odd name.
Back in the mercantile district, out towards the outer ring of the city, you're headed into what is a reasonably well lit establishment for this time of evening. Generally speaking, the quality is fairly high. Everybody seems happy inside, but it just doesn't feel quite like you'd expect from a bar or even a tavern in general. The feel is just fairly sterile. Everything is clean, like it's been cleaned recently, and yet nothing feels really homey here as a result. Everything is just new feeling. As far as the crowd goes, it's actually pretty full at this time of evening.
Mm-hmm. Alright.
I hope they still have some rooms left.
Yeah, I'll go ask about rooms and everything and getting food for everyone.
How many rooms are you asking after, given you've got...
Xion doesn't mind to share a room.
Yeah, I figure we can at least, like, either double or even, like, triple up on rooms, depending on, like, how big the rooms are and how much, like, space there is.
Last would ideally share a room with one of the people she has a bond with, but she's not too picky.
Eight people plus dog.
Oh, or with Anatu.
Yeah, so we can... Sorry, cat's
Xion would probably prefer with first and anyone else who wants to.
Okay. So yeah, I'll ask about how big the rooms are and stuff and how many beds are to, like, to any of the bigger rooms.
The man behind the bar seems really okay with however many rooms you want. They've got 2 beds per, and generally speaking, they're just available at this time of year. They've got a heavy flow of merchants through the town, but there are also a lot of inns because this is a trade city.
Mm-hmm.
Do the rooms come with food?
Yeah.
Okay. Then may I please have some food?
Yeah, I'll get, I'll spend 8 gold and stuff to get food for everybody. And, like, well, no, wait. How many rooms are we getting? Do we want to just get 4 rooms, 2 to a room?
With 8 people, sounds like 4.
Yeah, so we'll just get 4 rooms and stuff, 2 to a room. And should I just spend an extra 2 gold and stuff on getting food for everybody, or?
Sounds about right, I think.
Seems like you've got it together on pricing. And after just a short while of sitting down, I'm assuming you're going to be taking up one of the larger tables towards the back of the room because, quite frankly, you've got the largest group currently inside the inn. They bring out a decent spread of food. It's actually 2 or 3 small dishes that they're splitting up to serve between you as you desire. They've got just different types of pastries and a pasta of some type.
Damn.
Wow, this looks good. Well, one thing's for sure. It is probably not wood.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I guess they got abundance of food here.
Last tastes it and says, "Wow, this is really good. There's so much stuff I haven't tried yet."
And about 10 minutes after the first portion of food comes out, they actually start bringing out some samples of fish of a few different types as well.
What are those?
Fish.
Awesome.
Have you ever had... You haven't eaten... Well, I guess, to be fair, you haven't been alive, like, awake, whatever, for too long to try much.
Last thinks back and just I guess I've eaten wood soup, bread, some mushrooms and bugs. That was when I was in the forest and walking towards Evering. That eggy stuff that you were supposed to pick apart.
For those curious, it's a salmon with a light, just white sauce on it.
So,
salmon.
And wolf. I've eaten wolf. So this is different from all of those.
I haven't had fish in a long, long while. I think I had it when I was young. A trader brought it in. Haven't had it since.
I will note that this is vastly more fresh than any fish you've had before because, well, part of the city is adjacent to the sea.
Yup. Xion will start eating just normally, slowly.
All right, and who all is drinking? I'm very curious. Because their main offering is alcoholic.
Last
Depends.
will drink whatever's put in front of her.
How much does it cost?
Well, like basic drink and stuff comes with the food and everything, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if they put the alcohol in front of her, Last will drink it, and then her face scrunches up and... Aiden paid for all of us.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was rude, but what is
It's okay.
this?
Probably ale. I'll put up a hand and everything. Could we get a glass of sweet wine or something?
You get a nod and a blink from the waitress who comes back with just a little bottle after a short bit.
Last will try that, and presumably it tastes better.
It tastes a lot sweeter than what you were getting before. Before it was a rather stouty, just a darker ale, whereas this is just a sweet wine.
Yeah.
Alright, it's less bitter. Still kind of tastes... sharpy?
Yeah, that's okay.
Oh, this is alcohol, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And Aiden will probably be drinking mead.
I
So
don't know if I'm
drink,
old enough to have this.
Why not?
I'm only 2 weeks old.
It's better than drinking water in some places.
Xion
Okay.
will also drink and will not bet first drink.
Question for the GM. Is alcohol bad for plant people?
Given the way your body absorbs liquids, it's more potent for plant people.
Okay.
Oh god.
Phyllis will summon some juice and then mix with the alcohol and then take it over a longer period of time.
Okay.
Last, being kind of a doofus and sort of naive, will be drinking the wine like it's a regular drink.
Oh god, is the entire party gonna get drunk?
No. Okay.
Phyllis is
I will
also-
get a non-alcoholic drink for first.
Phyllis is also
Fair.
smaller,
Yeah.
so it's probably even more potent.
Yeah.
After a little while, Aiden will probably take the bottle away from Last.
Oh, no more? Okay.
Yeah. Here. I'll check to make sure any water and stuff is clean and just kind of put that in front of Last.
Last will drink it. It's less
I will
sweet.
note that I'm going by your
Fish
fizz
is still
resist.
good, though.
Oh no!
I will note I'm going by your fizz resist for how drunk you are getting.
Oh no!
Phyllis, you have a penalty effectively because you are tiny and you are a plant.
Oh no! Phyllis has the lowest resist she can possibly have.
Last has 3 fizz resists, so
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
Xion has 5. He's fine.
Last and Phyllis have the same, but Phyllis also has what amounts to a -2 penalty.
Mm-hmm. Last just wipes under her eye and says, "Okay, I think this is what being drunk is like, maybe. I should probably finish eating and go upstairs."
Yeah, we should probably get some sleep for the night.
It's interesting that your career like made it so you could get drunk.
I didn't even think of that, yeah. But then I guess golems need to eat, so they got a
Oh yeah,
Med-
yeah.
Metabolism.
Maybe it's just
Yeah,
part
they
of
got that. Whatever.
Hey, can I sleep in your room?
Yeah, you can, Phyllis. You're the best. I love you.
Here you go.
Pretty heavily buzzed.
It's probably
Wow.
pass out halfway up the stairs.
Okay.
Last will just carry Phyllis.
Aiden will help get them to a room and everything as well.
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
It's okay.
And Last will just put Phyllis down in a bed, then flop down on top of the covers in the same bed and fall asleep.
I guess the Natu and everything can stay in there on the other bed.
Yeah, probably.
And I will note for you that these beds are actively sturdy enough that this does not break it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I don't want to pay for a bed.
I guess me and Roderick and stuff will take a room, and I'll take Little B as well. Because nobody else really likes Roderick. I'm not even sure if I really like Roderick, but
You will note that unlike the rest of you, Roderick was drinking water the entire time.
Xion is just enjoying his alcoholic beverage. Nice and easy.
I'm playing it up a bit with Last since she's never experienced anything like this.
Yep. I think Ronia has a room for her own then.
Hmm?
Seems like.
Okay.
Since
Awesome.
since Last and Phyllis, fell asleep in
Ended
the
up
same
sharing
bed.
a bed. I mean, you can steal Phyllis if you want, but
no, let them sleep.
Phyllis won't notice.
Alright. After your night of merriment, you wake up in the morning, some of you with a little bit more of a hangover going on than the others.
does Last have a hangover?
A little bit. Phyllis has a pretty heavy one.
Ow.
Phyllis will. Let me have a look.
Yes, you can cure it using its status removing effect.
She'll use
The wonders of magic.
She'll use one move, and then one effect to burn it 2 times to cure both Phyllis and Last of a hangover.
Oh, thanks, Phyllis. Did he sleep okay?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that's good. That was
shit.
weird.
Also, before I go to sleep, I kind of forgot we kind of just like moved through the night kind of fast. I was gonna ask a couple questions using prayer.
By all means.
First, just asking why Kantia and Percy are traveling together, and secondly, what Percy is doing in this city? Like, why did he come here and shit?
Not sure why your god would know that, but it's worth a try.
Hey.
In this case, it's because the gods can talk to one another pretty freely, and there is an active knowledge god in the setting.
Oh, okay, good point.
Ah.
Yeah, so it's basically like...
Herp derp.
If Peregrine and stuff doesn't know, then he can just ask the more knowledgeable one.
Lorica, who is the patron of the city, effectively.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me get those real quick. I just did the rolls. For why Percy is within the city, it honestly seems like he doesn't belong. You're getting just a vague image in a dream that seems like he's out of place, like he didn't choose to be here.
Ah. Okay.
And what was
He
the
might
other
not
question
have been
precisely?
the one who knew teleport.
Why Percy and Kantia and stuff are traveling together?
During the earlier portions of the dream, you get just this feeling of a light bond, but it feels very negative.
Okay then.
Probably like something like, you're my friend until I don't have no need of you anymore.
Great. So if anything, stuff, Percy might have been dragged here. Okay. Well, I'll share this and stuff with everybody else and everything. And we should probably just quickly, like, eat a little bit of food and stuff, and then head for the North District.
Alright, sounds good.
Your breakfast is a fairly light one by comparison to what they offered for dinner, but it's still pretty good food. It's definitely more filling than you would have expected just for quote-unquote free breakfast. But after you head out, you notice that the city itself seems pretty quiet this morning, whereas before you were getting used to the just casual din of noise, especially being close to the market district. It seemed a little bit more hushed than usual, like there's only a few dozen people milling about fairly nearby rather than a few hundred people.
Maybe the other day was market day. So anyway, yeah, is anyone opposed to us all just like heading to the North District?
Last definitely isn't. Although,
So-
first things first, she's going to make sure her perception is turned on. I'll say physical perception.
Okay.
Xion will follow. He has nothing else to do.
And last will say, alright, Anatu, you do whatever you think is best for today, and if you can't find us at the end of the day, would it be okay if we are separated and stuff, after sundown we all come back here, in case we can't find each other?
Agreed.
Sounds like a good plan.
I can always put up a sign, but, you know, it's good to have a plan.
Yeah, and also if we're gonna split up, it might be a good idea to just keep in groups of 2.
Yeah.
But
I
as
feel
it
like
is,
it's safer
I'm
now.
I'm happy with going to the north.
Okay.
Anatu heads off on her own magical adventure for the day then. Believe it or not, I've actually planned this out.
Just make sure you stay safe, sis, okay?
Does she want to take Little B?
She will if you won't.
Well, I feel like she'd probably be safer and everything at least. Like, at least a little bit.
Accompanied by a small dog, yes.
He's not that small, is he?
He's pretty small. Given he was kept more or less just in an apartment for the last couple of years, he's not really grown up to be a huge dog.
Fair enough.
I mean, if you really want, maybe First wants to join her. But that depends what First wants.
First is okay with going with her.
If First wants, he can go. They can go.
Yeah, they do have a crossbow and everything, so...
Would you be okay with going with First?
She seems alright with it. They don't really know each other that well at this point, but they have had a little bit of a chance to bond.
Okay.
Were we able to teach First how to read at least a little?
Probably.
Okay, if we were able to at least teach First, like, how to read decently well, then I'm okay with it. Because otherwise they would have no way to communicate with each other.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So that's fine and stuff. So, yeah, we can head out and stuff now.
Alright, and are you following the market district to the north, or are you going to try and cut through the central districts in order to save a little bit of time?
What are we doing today?
Apparently heading to the north end of town to investigate for where Percy's at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thing. Do you have the negotiator talent?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Would Phyllis be able to use her translation skills to help with that?
Oh, I can, I have the, that's the other thing and stuff. I can cast Blessing for the day. And I'll do the Courage and Charisma, and the other one and stuff I'll do, bridge any language barriers.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So that way, like, you can go... I feel like we'd cover a lot more area if we split up and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you can go with another group and everything. That way you can help with any, like, language problems. And then I have...
Phyllis doesn't really have common language thingies.
Phyllis can talk with the trees.
Phyllis can talk with the trees, the animals, and the birds.
That's still useful. I mean, like, you know, rats that see things. Like...
You will note that you have not seen any sign of vermin since you have been in this city.
Oh. Man, this place is ridiculously clean.
Those cleaning paladins.
There's cleaning what?
Paladins.
You mean the ponds?
No, they specifically have paladins who are very vigilant about cleaning.
Oh.
It's actually a subroutine for the pawns at the end of the day.
Oh. So basically they have a bunch of robot guards and everything that clean also.
Yep. Magical robot janitors.
Okay. If you knew the exact conditions that Julian grew up in, you would know why. But yes, you are free to travel to the north end of town. If you don't try to take a shortcut, you can get there pretty straightforwardly. Nobody's going to really bother you along the way. If you try to take a shortcut, you're probably going to have to ask around.
I'd say no shortcut. Let's just get there. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Fine with me.
Okay.
As you head around to the north end of town, you notice that gradually, as you're going, the stone quality seems slightly worse. It wasn't obvious at first, but Last can definitely pick out a point where the stonework just seems slightly lower quality, and it seems to be gradually declining some as you keep going towards the north end, especially as you're traveling within the market district, but it's probably worse on some sides of the city.
Last tilts her head, and she says, is this place older or poorer?
Probably both.
Because the stones aren't as good.
Maybe Julian couldn't invest as much energy into it.
Who's Julian?
Oh, yeah, he's like this dude who's a wizard, and he basically made it this town.
Oh, shit.
Also, I think he made all the guardians.
The pawns?
The pawns, yes.
Huh. The things wizards can do.
It's quite remarkable.
Well, this area is probably just older and stuff. But anyway, so is this district like other than it looks older and everything, like anything else like different about it? Like, is there other stuff?
About halfway through the trip itself north, you notice that the guards do change over slightly in appearance. Whereas within the western section of the city, they were all wearing, well, quote-unquote, wearing red. Here, the armor shifts towards white.
Okay.
And those in the rest of the group would know that in the southern portion of the city, they were using black armor.
Last continues to look a little uncomfortable around the pawns.
You'll also note that there is a fairly heavily non-pawn presence here for the guards. It wasn't obvious at first, but you're seeing a lot more people wearing the trappings of knights rather than just a bunch of pawns in specific locations. Like, they've got more human sentries in this portion of the city than in any other portion of the city. And I'm just using human as the general broad term. They've actually got a pretty good mix from what you can tell. Though most of the non-humans are Brushka, you're seeing a few Lacertiles in guard uniform as well.
Cool.
Okay. Okay. So I suggest we kind of split up and everything to cover more ground and, like, make the most of the day that we have. We kind of need to... We have a couple days, like... They have a couple days lead on us and everything, so we kind of need to catch up.
Well, we have about a week and a half to fix the problem in Evering and return the cloak.
We have a week to get back to Evering?
Well, we lend the cloak, I think it was a cloak, to be able to cure Ernie and what was the girl's name? Leia. And cure Leia.
Travel does take a few days, so we should probably go back after today, at least.
Okay, so we need to try and, like, find out as much as we can and everything today then. So yeah, I suggest we split up. There's the university and everything that one of the knights and everything told me Kantia and everything went to talk to someone there. We could also talk to some of the knights here and everything, see if they saw anything.
Isn't that the Academy district?
I think so, yeah.
We went there.
Yeah, it's in the North District, isn't it?
And that's further towards the center.
Isn't
More or
that
less, the city itself is divided into quarters. This is fairly obvious from just the layout, but it seems like every district extends around just a complete circular portion of the city. There's something in each section.
I
You could say that you're in... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Right now, you could say that you're in the North Mercantile District. There is a north section to every portion of the city, effectively, because it's gauged relative to the center of the city.
Okay. So more towards the center of the North District, there's the North University District.
Okay. Yeah,
So
we went through Academy District, but that was, well, it was more guarded than the other districts. We had 2 pawns with us the whole time.
Yep. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. That I did not know.
So, where were we going?
Yeah, I admit I'm not fully clear on that.
I think Codeman's idea was to split up and one group to get information from more of the guards and one group go to the Academy District to find out what Kantia was looking for or who she was talking to. Am I correct on that?
Yeah.
Okay, then last we'll want to go to the Academy District for a lot of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Aiden and everything will probably offer to go talk to the guards and to the knights and everything.
I think Phyllis would rather go to the Academy District because wizards.
Yeah, Xion will probably also talk to the guards and stuff.
Alright, that just leaves Ronia for party.
And Roderick.
Yeah, Roderick will probably come with me.
Yeah, I didn't think you were giving him a choice in the matter.
I love it how First has more choices than Roderick.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, First has done nothing to earn your scorn.
True, true.
So what do you think, Luna?
I think the academy, I guess.
Okay.
Okay. And Little B will probably come with me.
Actually, you foisted Little B off with someone else.
Wait.
Anatu.
No, First went with Little B, wasn't it?
You
First
sent
went with
first of
Anatu.
them with Anatu.
They're having an NPC session.
Yep.
Yes, they're having a magical adventure together.
Okay, Little B can go with them and stuff, I guess, then. So what is it? Me and Roderick and
Xion.
Zion are going to go talk to the knights?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Whereas last Phyllis and Ronia are going to try to get into the Academy District to speak to people.
Alright.
We're going to get into the Academy District to speak with people. And I will
Well, it's a question of if you're thrown out after or not.
I will make a ladder to get in, if we have to.
Oh god.
Make a fake letter. Hope the handwriting's good.
I mean ladder.
As they climb over the wall.
Also, if Ronia and Last are there, they could probably fake something really well.
This is true.
Just try not to get in any trouble.
No promises.
That's all Aiden will say and stuff as like they head off and everything. Like just try not to get in any trouble. Don't get in a fight with any of the like professors and shit.
We'll do our best.
Okay, which group would like to go first? Team Academy or Team Knights?
I'd be okay with either, but I'm up for going first, if that's alright.
I have no preferences.
I'm kind of interested in what the university is like.
Alright, Team Academy it is then, because we've got a lot of no preferences and someone who's interested in what the Academy has going. Okay, as you get to the north end of town, proper due north end, you see a lot of just general low population sections. Even the mercantile district is fairly sparse here, though just judging by how the map looked, you'd say the main points of entry into the city are on the east and west ends, with maybe some upcoming on the south, but not active there yet. North end seems very dead by comparison, and yet, looking around, this place feels much older than the rest. Like, while the stone is just slightly lower quality, it just feels like it was made with a different flair for architecture. Just the entire area has this almost gothic vibe going. The gate itself into the north end of the Academy District is also not the same standard portcullis design that you saw on all of the west end gates and even the south end gates you checked. This is an old school heavy wooden portcullis with a high gate.
Maybe someone else made this place. Or at least oversaw its design.
That does look very different. It is pretty, though. Last is going to take a look and see what the quality of the make is.
Generally speaking, everything here doesn't feel like it was made with magic. You can see tool markings and everything else when you're looking at the make. It seems fairly high-end, but it's also manually done.
Wow.
Everything was done by hand here. It kind of reminds me of home.
Must have been a lot of work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Phyllis will walk up to the gate and try to gain entry.
You actually have two fairly average-looking human guards at it, and no pawns in sight whatsoever. They both give you a look, but honestly, the first one looking at you says, "Oh yeah, she definitely belongs in here. I mean, come on, she looks like a teacher, or yeah, more teacher than student, right?" And the other one just looks at him like he's kind of crazy, and then looks down at you. It's like, "Okay, who are you, and why haven't I seen you around before?"
I am Phyllis Coryllis, leaf-hoisted extraordinaire.
And the first one looks at the other one and says, "Yeah, see? Definitely belongs."
Oh yeah, Phyllis totally belongs here.
See, they've even got a doll with them. They totally belong. And then the other one just looks back. No, they... What's your business here?
We want to talk with some of the people who work here. It's for safety business.
Yeah, we think that there might be some dangerous people in the city, and we think that this place might be one of the places they might have visited.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is just looking proud, like he has totally called this, that they do belong. And the second one still looks dubious, but just honestly does not seem to know what to do with this job. Like this has been a changeover for him. And he just reaches up, pulls a small lever that is exposed openly, and the portcullis rises about 4.5 feet before it stops. Which is not enough clearance for anyone except Phyllis.
Is that how it's supposed to go?
It's stuck.
Oh, Last is going to take a look and see if there's any way she could fix it.
Just looking at the quality, it seems like the gears themselves are slightly misfitting. You could probably do just some minor tweaks and it would go up all the way properly.
Give me a minute. And Last is going to kind of push them aside and start messing with the gears.
It only takes you about 10 minutes of just tinkering. You manage to shave off a tiny bit of the metal using just a little bit of focused effort between the chisel and a little bit of magical work, costing 1 reinforced use just to compress slightly. You've seen this type of magic at work now. You're getting a little bit better with it directly, and you're able to actively change the way this gear is shaped just a little bit with your crafting skill.
Excellent.
Oh yeah, Last
And-
does have tools.
Yep, she does. She has a very holy toolbox.
Mhm.
And she's damn well going to make use of it.
I will note that the gears themselves are not metal. They are stone instead of just properly shaped and fitted metal.
Fascinating.
After just that little bit of time, though, the gears whir to life and the portcullis shoots up to about 7 feet of clearance.
Last grins broadly. Look, Phyllis,
The
I
guards-
fixed it.
You did.
The guards seem really happy about this. Like, holy crap, we can actually walk inside if we need to. And just walk.
Well, yeah. Just needed a little fixing. I'm good at doing stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they're actively pretty welcoming to you at this point, since you definitely don't seem destructive.
Okay, Phyllis, let's go find someone to talk to about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I can
Ins-
get in without ducking. I don't think I'm very flexible.
No.
Inside, the Academy District itself seems a little bit lower quality than you would have expected, but you notice that there are some slight magical workings around. Like, there are some edges that have definitely been touched up, but most of this still looks very hand-done. Like, this entire section of the city, the northern portion, was really well crafted by hand. Like, there was no sign of magical work except for touch-ups. The buildings themselves are all just well maintained, but it actually feels more homey in general than any portion of the city you've been into this point. And yet there is very low population here. It's a little bit of a walk, sure, but there should be more people here from what you can tell. And the academies themselves, as the layout looks, seem a little bit more green than what was in the western end. Like, this place is less cultivated actively.
Mm-hmm.
The buildings themselves are a little bit taller, and honestly, it just feels like it was a more natural sprawl at this point.
Phyllis will walk over to a tree and ask where the people are. Or why there aren't as many people here as other places in the city.
Tree just seems to react slowly, just a little bit slower than you're expecting, but then this is a tree, so talking isn't their strong suit.
Nope.
And just quietly whispers, "No class." Like class was cancelled for some reason.
I was about to say, no, you have no class.
Sick burn.
No, that was what happened to the other tree.
Poor tree. How well. They're not sapient.
Are you sure you can talk to them?
Well... Fuck. Are the trees sapient? I thought that was just kind of magic.
It's a skill, it's not a spell.
Fuck. Fuck. Phyllis gets this thought and summons, like, a bit of wood and tries to talk with it.
Your wood does not talk back.
Damn it. She tries to summon a plant and talk with it.
Your plant does not seem intelligent.
Phyllis?
I will note that it is only your plant that does not seem intelligent. Even the grass here seems a little bit... Oh god, Codeman.
God damn it.
Sorry. One moment. I must unmute to do this. That was a face desk.
Yep.
Now I will go mute again.
Alright, anyway, back to what you were doing.
Note, Phyllis is wearing 2 pieces of living plants. Her wizard hat and her wizard robe.
They are always quietly talkative.
Okay. Yeah. They're cool. They're cool with Phyllis eating, like, apples and fruits and vegetables.
The vegetables are not always cool with it.
Well, at the very least, eating apples is probably like a form of reproduction.
Yes. Phyllis will put this aside for another day.
Now then, you are free to explore this portion of the Academy District. It just seems a little bit quiet, and you're not certain where the population is. Generally speaking, though, things just seem slightly off here by comparison to the rest of the city. All of the buildings are older feeling, even though they're fairly new crafted still. And just judging by the layout, it seems like there's a class flow that you can't quite follow. Like, there are so many buildings just sprawling everywhere with nature interspersed between. They must have classes just scattered all over the place.
Ah, we need this. Let's just put a building here. Oh no, we need that. Let's put a building there.
Last is just looking very comfortable here, and she smiles and says, "This place really feels a lot like my creator's place."
Mm-hmm. We should probably try to find some form of administration or something like that.
Okay. And Last is going to look around with her heightened perception for a building that looks administrative-y.
Just slightly over the rest of the buildings, you can pick out one that's a little bit taller with a little bit more of an angular lean that feels like it's fairly central to this section. Just the very northernmost tip of the Academy District. This seems like a focus point for it.
That looks important. Can we try there?
Yeah.
Okay. And Last is going to head for that.
When you get there, you notice that the building itself is laid out as just a generally rounder shape. You're used to most of the buildings here being perfect squares. This one seems more of a cut-off cornered building. Like they were trying for something a bit rounder and smoother, but it didn't quite work out. And on each side, there seems to be a general entrance. If you look around, you can tell that it was almost like it was built here deliberately as a point of interest, but you're not entirely certain what's up with it other than that. It's a little bit taller, so it's around 2.5, maybe 3 stories, so you only see 2 stories worth of windows. And there do seem to be people around. And I will note that, oddly enough, it doesn't seem made of the same fairly lighter gray white stone that this portion of the city is made of. It looks more like it's a darker stone that was cut directly from just the mountains nearby.
Wow, they must have moved this from somewhere. Last is going to go up to whoever looks the most important and annoy them.
Well, generally speaking, the most important looking person will be the one that is immediately visible on the inside. As you go in, you notice that the layout of the building is rather odd. You can see a lot of staircases off to the sides. Just each corner has 2 different ones going up from the very center point of the corner. And at the very center of the initial chamber, there's just a young man in what looks like a 3-piece suit sitting there at a central round desk that is made of some thick, very dark wood.
Excuse me, are you important?
I should hope so. I'm the administrator for this small section of the city.
Okay, you sound important. Okay, so, one, I fixed your door.
He looks at the door to the building.
Not that door. A door farther that way. The door to your part of the city.
Oh, the gate. Well, yes, that's certainly an interesting point to worry about, but...
Well, we happened upon it and it was broken.
Yes, that portcullis has always been a little bit finicky, usually after it rains, but it's not rained lately. I don't know what's up with this. And he is just focused on something in front of him, something he's writing down. If you look close, which you're easily able to, it seems like some kind of a logbook, and you're seeing a lot of names tallied out in it.
Oh, you have a book of things. Does that book contain the names of people who come here, or something?
No, it's a academy roll for this section of the city. We've got so many people in. Today is just the administrative holiday, but of course I don't get to take time off. He just focuses on writing more.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't suppose you know if someone named Kantia or Percy came here, do you?
They don't sound familiar, and I usually see most of the guests. They tend to come here, and, well, I can see why. The building itself is decently impressive, but I don't remember anyone by those names coming in. Do you have a description?
Well, Kantia was,
Last can fill in the blanks accurately without
okay,
a description.
yes, sorry.
No, that's perfectly fine. You haven't seen either of them in a while in character. In fact, you only saw Percy in session 1, so...
Last will describe them to the best of her abilities. We ask this because they're dangerous. Well, Percy is, at least. He kind of tried to explode someone.
Ah, yes, the young couple that came in.
Couple?
Well, they were maintaining a lot of direct contact. They seemed more overly friendly than usual, though she seemed a bit more apprehensive.
Last has a look like she just bit into a lemon.
Yes, they were thinking of enrolling, but didn't seem like a good fit.
Okay, yeah, because Percy exploded someone. Do you have any idea where he'd be? We'd like to stop him from doing that again.
Well, you see, if anyone doesn't get enrolled in this portion of the city, they're free to enroll in the Southern Academy, though usually they're a bit more stringent, and I'm fairly stringent myself. They headed back towards the north end of town, but I don't think they headed straight towards the gates.
How long ago was this?
Well, that was easily 3 days ago.
Crap. Is there anything else we need to ask Phyllis?
Other than the sapience of trees, I can't really think of anything.
Okay. Are trees
I believe they
sapient?
are. Yes, I believe they are, officially speaking, classified. I don't really speak to them myself, though I'm pretty sure someone on the junior staff does, and they always seem to have a decent conversation going.
Why do we use wood then?
Well, it's not like they can fight back.
That's terrible.
Well, you know, if they could voice an objection the rest of us could hear, I'm certain we would have a different opinion, but...
Why don't people... No, why don't people just learn their language?
Well, I don't think most people can, Phyllis. Like, I can see magic, but you can't. Maybe you can hear trees, but I can't.
Is magic also being misused?
Generally speaking, in my experience, yes.
No.
I don't think magic is, like, thinky, though.
Okay.
I mean,
okay.
Kantia used magic to fall on you a whole bunch, so that doesn't seem like it's a good use.
Okay. At least it can't think for itself, so...
At least I don't think that it can. But anyway, thank you very much for your help. Oh, and if anyone needs to know, since you tell people who came here, my name is Last and this is Phyllis.
And this is Ronia.
Ah, yes, the strong
Oh
silent
wait,
type.
Ronia came with us. Sorry, I forgot.
Yes, she did.
That was me being dumb. My bad. Yeah, she is. It's cool. So, Last is going to head back outside and say, 3 days ago. Well, at least we know they were here, but then what?
Should we check the south side?
Maybe.
The others are
You'll
closed,
have to-
so...
You'll have to help me get there, but if they have a broken door there, I can fix that too.
Mm-hmm.
I will note you are currently unaccompanied in the district, so if you just want to walk there around the ring of the city that it is in, technically speaking, there is nothing stopping you from just directly going there unless a guard stops you along the way.
Yeah, I think we'll just walk around.
That will take you a fair length of time. You've already burned a lot of daylight crossing the Mercantile District.
Through the
Academy District itself.
Academy District, yes.
Yeah, the trip from the west end of town to the north end of town for Mercantile District, then down through to the Academy District took a little while, and the trip all the way from the north end to the south end of Academy District, you're probably looking fairly close to nightfall by the time you arrive.
Okay. Would it be easier to just cut through the middle?
If you can convince them to let you through the military district without any form of authorization or notes, yes, technically.
Last would actually kind of like to cut through the military district just so she can see... Oh, what was his name? Just so she can maybe see the golem again. It wasn't the military district where she saw them.
Yes, it was, though you're not certain where they are now.
Well, still, she'd like to give it a go.
And I will note that there are further in districts. You just didn't get to go through them last time because you didn't have business in them.
If Phyllis would be okay with it, Last would kind of like to go that way.
Mm-hmm.
And if Ronia would be okay with it?
Yep.
Aaron, yes, thank you. So, Last, presumably the military district is like in between A and B.
Strictly speaking, yes, because if you go due south, you will pass through several more layers of the city in order to get to the opposite side.
Alright then, walking due south. Tell us when we run into something.
You'll run into quite a few obstructions along the way, actively speaking, because while there are many layers that you can technically pass through freely, once you get near the military district, there is an active pawn presence, and they are not opening up gates without some form of proper authorization.
Fair. Then when we reach the military district, Last says, "Excuse me, can we go through here?"
The pawns just look at you and then do not move. You will note, unlike all of the other pawns you regularly see, the white pawns for this portion of the city have pretty open helmets that display what they are. Just empty inside.
Ugh, creepy. Are there any humans nearby?
Oddly enough, no. Despite the heavy guard presence of humans and other species represented at the other gates, once you get to the military district, it seems very all business and no humanity to this.
Can you go get a human in charge so we can ask them? Is that a thing you can do?
You don't really get a direct response, and none of them immediately start moving. But if you wait a couple minutes, one of them will go.
Last will repeatedly ask them to do that until one of them fucks off.
I will note that on the way here, you did pass through the temple district, and you passed pretty close to one of those towers, and despite everything else seeming slightly wild and slightly handmade, those seem still very pristine, like they were given individual attention.
Interesting. The city is so fractious in its design.
There's a reason in its history, but quite frankly, digging into that is something that would take time that you really don't have unless you want to spend about a week and a half in the libraries.
Very fair.
After about 20 minutes, they finally come back, and you'll see that the person is not wearing armor that comes with the pawn. It's a young woman with fairly long blonde hair. It's currently tied up in a braid, and she just looks at you as a group wearing white robes, and she just wonders what you're doing here. Just immediately asking, okay, I don't really have authorization normally, but they seem to think I'm the only one available. What can I do for you?
Hi. We're trying to get to the other magic district, and going through here seemed the fastest. And also, I'd kind of like to talk to Aaron again and apologize for yesterday.
And she just seems slightly sympathetic towards you, but I don't know what I can do, really. Magic District? Are you going towards the academies in the south?
Yeah, that.
Ah, yes, the university, but all three of you?
Yes? Why wouldn't we?
Well, usually people come in individually for the application process, so you must be here for something else.
Well, yeah, because, there's two dangerous people, or at least one dangerous person and one that's traveling with them, called Percy and Kantia, and we're trying to find out where they went, so we're kind of following their trail. And this seemed like a decent guess at where they might have gone. Also, I kind of wanted to go through here to see Aaron again, because I really do need to say sorry.
Well, passing through directly in the center, you'll have to pass through the government district and the central temple. I'm
Yeah,
not
but
certain
it's still
even-
the shortest path, isn't it?
Yes, it's the shortest path, but I'm not certain even I can get you through those gates.
Is it bad or something?
Well, the government district has fairly strict requirements for who is allowed in and out, and the central temple is by audience only.
Well, if
Didn't we want to
Um,
speak with the knowledge god anyway?
it would be nice, I'd love to ask her about my creator.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, that's not like a requirement, I don't think.
No.
But, are we allowed to just talk to gods?
Well, you can certainly commune as you choose, especially if you go back towards the temple district. The central temple is a bit different from the others in regards to what it is able to do.
Last is thoughtful and says, I've never talked to a god. Well, I've tried. I don't know how well it's gone.
Well, we can try anyway. To get through.
Okay, but one way or another, is there any quick way that we could get to the southern magic-y thing and that I could talk to Aaron?
Well, I can authorize you into the military district, though as I'm not a formal commander within the structure, you would be required to be accompanied by multiple pawns during the visit.
Ugh. If that's okay with everyone else, it's okay with me.
Well, I can let you in. That would certainly shorten your trip some, and they'll have to hand off custody of you twice during the journey, once to the west end pawns and once to the south end pawns when you approach those portions.
Oh, also, if you have any doors that are broken, I can fix them.
No, most of the facilities are in fully functional status.
Okay, that's good. I just wanted to offer.
Mm-hmm.
And she will hand you off to 4 pawns accompanying you.
Thank you very much.
They will follow you as you take the journey towards the southern end of town. And they can't actually let you through either of the inner gates towards the centermost point in the city. You'd have to actively make a petition to get to that temple.
Yeah, we'll do that. But could we find Aaron?
While you're passing to the south, you go through the west end rather than towards the east. Either would have made the journey itself as swift because you went from due north. You don't see him at the training yard on the west end where you had first encountered him.
Oh, are we going around? I thought we were going right through.
They can't authorize you to do so, and the petitions usually take a few weeks from just the way she was going on about it.
So it may be best to just go around through the military district.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a much shorter journey overall than going around the entire outer rings would be.
I wanted to break into the temple.
Sorry, I don't think that's the best idea right now.
No.
We could
If
break
you
in.
really want to, I will let you try.
I mean, you can try, but Last wouldn't go with you because she knows she's not stealthy.
Yeah. Okay.
There's Phyllis.
Oh, Last could be stealthy.
Last could be stealthier than Phyllis could.
Yeah.
That's true, but one, I can't actually cast that right now because I used my my 5 things, like to cast something 5 times.
Mm-hmm. And you don't have the daily casts to cast
Yeah.
another version.
There it is. Yep,
Mm-hmm.
those are words.
Those are indeed words.
Specifically, the words I wanted. Whatever.
I mean, Josh, if you want to give me stealthy on that...
I don't. I'm sorry. There is a mechanical reason for it, so...
At level 4, I mean, you could...
I will think about it at level 4.
Okay. I mean, I'm already getting small and flights, so...
A little bit of stealth won't hurt. Just,
maybe not.
just like the hide equivalent, not like the full suite.
Mm-hmm.
I will consider it. We'll talk on it later.
Mm-hmm.
The journey itself doesn't take too long, but at this point we're going to cut away to the other group as they've been waiting for a while.
Yeah, that makes sense. That I was actually going to ask for that to happen.
Aiden and Xion, you are free to enter towards the more central portions as you are going to talk to the knights. Do you have anyone in particular you want to speak with, though?
Does Aiden know any of the knights?
Strictly speaking, Aiden knows one of the knights.
Is Codeman here?
This is a good question.
Codeman?
I'm sorry, I zoned out there for a second.
Ah, no problem.
What was the question?
Do you have
what-
anyone in particular you want to seek out to talk with for the knighthood?
Oh, anyone that like seems like they're not really, because the only one I knew and everything was in the West District. So, yeah, any of the knights and stuff, really.
And what specifically are you going to be asking them in a while? Since this is going to take a minute for you to find someone in particular and actually ask them specifically what they know. So I just want to know what you're seeking precisely, so that way I know how long it will take you.
If they've seen anyone fitting Kantia or Percy's, and what was the other lady?
Ronia? Since somebody's asked about her?
Yeah. Wait. The one that got injured and stuff.
Yes, Ronia.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, Ronia and stuff. If
Ronia.
anyone's seen people fitting their description and stuff.
I should really start just preface every conversation by typing out what the person's name is. After a while, just going towards the northern end of town to ask around through the guards, you're not getting a huge amount of hits, even with your natural persuasiveness. It's not that they're hiding anything, it's that most of them genuinely have no idea what you're talking about. Given the population of the city, though, and the widespread of guards over an area of several miles, it's hard to say how many would even have seen them directly. Eventually, though, as you keep going towards what would be the northeasternmost end of town, you've taken quite a portion of the day just asking people because, quite frankly, there are so far hundreds of guards that you have seen, not including many pawns on the northern side of town. You get a hit. One of the guards, just a really, really stacked man who is about 6'4", just looks down at you, goes, "Oh yeah, I saw a few of them." And a bunch of this, well, I don't want to sound racist, but all four of the ones that looked like guys from Kassan, they looked exactly like, I'm sorry. Yeah, that group.
Yeah. Did you see where they went or anywhere? What they were doing here?
They were milling about towards the gates, like they were trying to get back into the Academy District at one point, and I had to run them off. It seemed like they didn't want as much trouble as they seemed like they were spoiling for. Then they eventually just headed off towards the north, but I think they left town after that. Just the way they kept going. it didn't seem like they were going to stick around. Nobody uses the north gate, though, so maybe they just stuck around somewhere out in the mercantile? I doubt it, though.
All right. You might want to talk with some of the other knights and everything, because the scrawny guy and stuff, Percy, he's kind of dangerous.
I'm sure.
He used magic to nearly kill a couple of people back in Evering.
I mean, we saw a couple of people do stuff like that during the war. You know, you got the occasional weirdo show up, try and kill somebody with a nice cloud of explosive fog, whatever.
Yeah, so I don't know, just be aware of that, I guess. So you think they might have left, though?
Well, I mean, if they were headed towards the north end of town, there's not much out there, especially with how the shops have been going in this district lately. Just everything's going downhill. I don't think they'd have stuck around too long if they were headed that way. And if they were headed towards the north end, they might have headed towards North Gate. Maybe went back towards the mountains or where they came from.
What is the law and stuff for using gates, like magic gates and everything? Because one of them has a bit of magic to teleport like that.
Well, they broke the entry laws coming in. Yeah, we really don't appreciate people just bypassing the entry procedures into the city.
Yeah, I think they might have done that and stuff, and they might have left the same way too. Or do you have any measures and stuff to like stop people from doing that?
Well, it's kind of hard to stop. You know, people are just popping in willy-nilly every once in a while, but once they get the hang about what the laws say, they typically at least try to behave.
Okay. Well, if you learn anything else, we'll be staying at the Laughing Badger down at the... Where were we at? The Western District?
Yes.
Was that close? Okay.
The western end of the Mercantile District at that point.
Yeah. If you can send any information you may like remember, or if you mention it to any of the other knights.
Yeah, I'll pass it along. I'm sure one of them has seen something, maybe. Who knows? Most groups that tend to stick around too long stick out a little bit more than you'd expect. If they're still around, they'll be spotted soon.
Alright, thank you. I guess... Xion, do you have any questions and stuff for him?
Not really. I'm just wondering about something else, but I will let you know when we start walking again.
Okay. So I guess we'll start walking further north and stuff to where he said Percy and them were going.
Well, you're pretty close to the Mercantile District as is. You'd have been passing back and forth closer to the residential areas. And as you go north, you notice that the gate on the north end of town almost looks sealed. Whereas the rest of the gates around the city, you'd have seen maybe a glimpse of them as you traveled through the westernmost district. They seem fairly openable. They're large. They're impressive. But this one just seems almost symbolic. Like it's supposed to represent...
Like it's not even supposed to open.
Like there's probably a door somewhere at the bottom of it.
Hey, Aiden.
Yeah?
Did I hear it correctly that the guard said there were four people from Kazan looking the same with the group? Sounds like they got the scouts back up.
Yeah. It seems like they're all up and walking around and everything, which is kind of surprising.
It kind of is, with those wounds. Either they found a way to cure it, or, well, they are able to deal with a lot of pain.
By the way, am I still having to like constantly change the bandages and stuff on my hand? Like,
yes, though technically speaking, you can resolve that at this point, and this will probably occur to your characters, at least to Xion. You now have a cloak that suppresses curses temporarily, allowing you to heal what effects they have caused.
Ah.
And it did not seem like a really hard to manufacture thing. They were willing to lend it out to a group of strangers.
Is Aiden looking at his hand from time to time?
yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
then
he'll probably,
woman.
when you mention it and stuff, like, check the wound and everything to make sure it didn't, like, heal or something, like they killed the spirit or something.
It did not heal, I will note.
Okay. Hey, Aiden.
Yeah?
I told you about that cloak we found, right? Well, we got, right?
It's used for healing and stuff, right?
Well, from what I heard, it's meant to suppress curses, so it is able to heal better, or heal the curse entirely. If you want, you could give it a try on that wound on your hand.
I guess, but isn't it only supposed to work temporarily?
I don't know. I'm not that into magic stuff, but
Okay.
you can always try, and then we will know the answer.
Yeah, I'll talk to Last and Phyllis and everything. See if they can fix it or something.
All right.
So yeah.
But yes, if you have anywhere else that you really want to go, because now you got the direction. If you really want to follow out into the mountains,
Yeah, I'll go up to one of the knights and stuff, like guarding the gate and everything, or like around this area.
I will tell you right now, the knights at the gate are pawns. Unlike everywhere else in this district, from what you have seen, the gates are manned by just the pawns only.
Okay, well, find some knight and everything nearby then, because I doubt the pawns are going to want to talk to us, or if they even can.
You are free to talk to them. Their reactions are fairly limited, but if you want to find a different guard, by all means.
Yeah, I'll find one that's
Intelligent?
more willing to talk.
That too. Just a little bit away from the gate, you can see a couple of guards that are currently milling about around what looks like a fairly empty stall. You don't see anyone behind it. They're just sitting there leaning against it mostly.
Okay, I'll approach them and everything. Excuse me, sirs.
You've got a group of 2 men and 1 woman just standing there. And they look up at your approach. What do you need?
I was wondering, I'm kind of new in town. What's beyond this gate, and why is it? It looks like it's just a sealed off wall.
Well, yeah, it's mostly sealed. We don't get anybody from the mountains.
What's up in the mountains?
You know, Xion, normally you don't feel much of a presence when people look around at you, but all 3 of them just immediately turn and look straight at you.
Oh, great.
Well, I mean, you know the shadows live under the mountains and a couple of other races, right? They're pretty much the only guests we get through that gate.
So are they dangerous or something, or?
No, we just don't see anybody coming in through there. We've got the trade route to the east, the trade route to the west. It's mountains to the north, man. What do you expect? We don't get anybody that way.
Yeah, the shadows normally tend to be on their own.
I'd say we've probably got 3 in the city right now from there.
Huh. Interesting.
Where might they be at?
You're asking an awful lot there.
Sorry.
There's like, what? And they just look at each other for a second, like 45, 50,000 at least in the city. I mean, there's a lot of people here. It's a trade town. There's a lot of turnover. People who live here, there's a lot, and there's a boatload more that nobody has an account of everybody for.
Sorry. We're looking for some people, and...
What are you looking for shadows for?
We're not looking for shadows, just some people that might have traveled north.
Oh, well, nobody leaves that gate, really. I mean, one of them pipes up, just the smaller-looking guy next to the other two. They had that group that went out the other day. Well, yeah, they had like 7, 8 people with them. I can't remember how many. They just wanted out.
Were some of the people and stuff? I'll describe Percy and everything.
Yeah, it sounds like them. Yeah, said they were headed somewhere. I can't remember where. Sorry.
Oh,
Head for a second.
So they did leave.
Yeah. So, are you sure you don't remember anything?
Not really. I mean, you don't really ask where people are headed after they leave.
Fair enough. All right. Well, thank you very much. If you remember anything and stuff, we're staying at the Laughing Badger in the West District, and the person that we're looking for, I'll describe Percy and everything. He tried to murder a couple of people, and we're hoping that he can undo the magic that he used to injure them.
I mean, good luck. Magic's pretty common towards the center of the city if you want to ask around there.
Well, I think that's our best bet then.
Yeah,
We'll,
thank you.
Go into the center, look around.
I will note that you already know exactly where you had to go to get something to remove a curse from in the center of town. You have done so already, so there's not much else you're going to learn that route.
Nope.
But hey, at least we know what direction they went.
Yep.
But not to what ends, precisely.
No.
They went to the north.
Which could be anywhere else in this country.
Details. Important details, but still details.
All right. Well, we probably spent most of our time and everything, right?
Yes, you've spent most of your time walking, asking guards, getting very little direct info, just because it took a while to get to the point in the city where you would find someone who would have seen them. As a group, they're not that big of a standout, not even compared to your own group.
We have one of everything. Well, almost one of everything.
Almost, yeah. I guess we'll head back to
The Laughing Badger?
and stuff. Yeah.
With the travel times involved, by the time you get back, it should be a little bit after nightfall, which will be a bit ahead of the other group if they directly come back after the southern portion.
Okay.
Sounds about right.
Is the other group ready to go?
I'm ready.
I am here.
All right. Luna?
Yeah.
Okay. You travel south along the military district. You've got a decent look at the place now, all around it. You've seen that this place is very well, just completely tightly knit and tailored, that every building is exactly where it needs to be. Everything is precision made, machined almost, just for how close and tight-fitting everything is in quality. And after you reach the gate, they've traded you off twice now. You currently are accompanied by black pawns, which have the more enclosed masks. They let you back through the gate. You are on the other side of the city. You did not see Aaron anywhere in the training yard.
Last looks a little sad, but she says, "Thank you very much."
And on the other side of the military district is the temple district, so you're free to pass through here on your way. Though I'm not entirely clear on how long it'll take you. It shouldn't take that long, since you're not going to make any stops as far as I know.
I don't think so.
As long as nobody's going to stop at any of the specific towers in this part of town, you're all right. You make it back to the Academy District just after, and they seem a lot more reluctant to let you pass through. They've seen you as a group once, though you're down to 3 people now instead of the 5 when you passed through the first time.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like something might have happened at least. The guards themselves don't seem hostile towards you, but letting you roam free in the Academy District when there's nearly nobody around is not within their usual protocol, which would probably make you wonder what's up with the guards in the north, but you can probably guess.
Mm-hmm.
Relatively new.
Yeah. Last is, I'll just shift sort of back and forth and says, "Is there any doors I could repair for you?"
You know, give me a second. I'm going to roll for how one of them takes that.
I may have said the wrong thing.
Xion is not there to be a meat shield.
One of them takes that as innuendo.
Oh, shit.
Well,
Well, my door doesn't swing that way.
How do they respond?
You start to get just that finger up in the air, want to say something, wants to stay professional, doesn't know what to say look from one of them.
Because I fixed a door back at the other end, and they were really grateful, and they let us through.
That does
you're not helping.
God. You know, maybe later. Where are you staying at?
Oh, I'm staying at what was it? The
Laughing Badger.
Laughing Badger.
Oh, I'm staying at the Laughing Badger. So you can find me there, and I can fix your door.
You know what? Sure. He just waves this. Yeah, go with it. Go with it. And they will let you.
Do I really need to unmute again to face desk? Multiple times.
Thank you very much. And at last we'll go through. Oblivious.
Oh God.
I'm sitting here crying.
I am not gonna be your meat shield for that. Just saying.
I'm not sure if Last can fix this door.
What is this guard expecting anyway?
You know, I will point out that this has been made canon in every other campaign a doll has appeared in. They are physically capable of sex unless they were designed specifically not to be able to be.
Yep, that is objectively true. I'm going to say that Last is actually a little formless, but that's because she wasn't completed.
So was she include? Does she have all the right working parts?
I'm not sure the guard knows the
improvisation.
answer to that.
I'm
We'll
not
find
sure,
out.
I'm not sure last note.
Or we won't. That could be
knows the
off
answer to
screen.
that.
Yes, like, oh god.
I will be face desking the entire time.
You'll be face desking until I don't know when. Okay.
On the plus side, we got through.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you are free to walk into the Academy District in the southern portion. As far as layout goes, this seems very efficiently done. Just everything is perfectly straight lines in ways that don't seem to fit with any city design you've seen. In general, the buildings are closer together, but there's still lots of green spaces, and you'd have passed through close to this section before, but you can see it just a little bit off in the distance. There is something that obviously stands out as an academy that is sitting about at 3.5, 4 stories. All of the buildings look very well designed. There are lots of windows, lots of open spaces just in the building's layouts. And you just get that vibe, like this is a modern university by comparison to the north end of town. You are still seeing very little signs of people around. You're seeing maybe 1 or 2 students at most milling about. But generally speaking, it's empty.
Last is going to, again, look for an important building.
Yep.
This time it's a lot harder to just pick out which one is supposed to be the important one. It's like everything was built to look like it was the center of attention at the time it was made. And just because it's magically made, it's hard to tell which one was made first.
In that case, Last is going to go to one of the students that's milling about and say, "Hey, where's the administrative building?"
This is actually just a little kid who is milling about right now reading something from what looks to be a school book of some type, though I'm not sure how much formal education Last technically has. It looks like some sort of math book.
Last can probably recognize some of the equations in it.
They'll point over towards just south and towards the west of where you are, which seems a little bit away from where the rest of the buildings are.
Oh, okay. Thank you. And Last will head towards that building.
As you head in that direction, you're passing through a lot more greenery than you're used to in this region, and you come across a short, perfectly round building made out of that exact same precise white stone. It has no openings except for the door, though, and only one entrance. It is the least airy-looking place you have seen in this entire area.
I don't think this door needs fixing. At least I hope not. I don't think I can fix that.
I think I could make it all.
I don't think we need to do that.
Okay.
Okay, who's headed in first of the two of you?
Last will go in first.
It is dark inside, whereas every other building in this city has seemed fairly lit, either by small candles, by natural light, or by some other more slightly advanced light source of some type. Not quite electricity, but something closer to gas lighting. This place just feels like you're going into a dungeon almost. Do either of you have a light source?
Phyllis, you've gone to schools. Is this normal?
No. We usually had it pretty late out back home, but I haven't gone to like a school.
Do you have a light?
I could try to make something. Can Phyllis make something that glows?
You know what?
have
Roll
oil.
a D%. I want to see exactly how good of a fire source you can make.
I have oil, but I never picked up a lantern.
Although, speaking in terms of just what you've made before, you made a piece of wood. If you want to soak it with oil and light that on fire, by all means.
30.
30, you've got yourself just what looks like a small, stable, lit torch. Decent craft with a little bit of a metal sconce towards the base, like it was built to be attached to a wall, and it just came like that from what you've summoned.
Okay.
It's a complex summon for what you do, though.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the things you make are just single solid material. This seems, honestly, oddly advanced.
Oh, she has been looking into making more advanced stuff.
Even still, from your intent, it seems a little bit off. And last, you're feeling there's a little bit of a touch of something in the air. Not quite magic, but not quite not.
Last is going to switch to magical perception.
You're picking up the trace that there's some kind of a lingering area right around this building in particular that is going to mess with magic inside it. It's not anti-magic of some type. It's just off.
This building doesn't quite like magic. It's just kind of weird about it.
I mean, this is a pretty complex torch, so but it doesn't seem like it's bad. So maybe it's...
No, it's not bad. It's just funny.
Okay. Phyllis will use it as a light.
Now that you can see into the building proper, you can see that it goes down. It's a proper staircase without rails. And it is a round, circular staircase.
Oh, wow.
And you are very certain that that is not up to code for where you are. Because it is dangerous as hell walking inside.
What's this?
Last looks down and yells, "Hello? Is anyone down there?"
You get an echo as you yell down.
Okay, that's
There's
not
no
an
response
answer.
up.
That's an echo.
There is no response back up, but if you look down far enough, you do see there's a light down there.
I can see a light.
And I mean pinprick level light from where you are.
Maybe we should go check it out.
Okay. And Last is gonna start walking down.
And so
Last, as you walk down without any kind of a handrail to guide you, just hand on the wall, you can tell that there's some slight slick spots on the stairs.
Phyllis, be careful.
How would you deal with slick spots? Phyllis is gonna summon some good grip boots.
Last is going to... if this doesn't work, Last is just going to turn around, get down on all fours, and crawl backwards down the stairs.
Okay. You will get down those stairs eventually. It takes you quite a while, and it is long. I'm talking a good 20-minute stair climb down.
Can Phyllis conjure some boots with better grip?
Yes, she can, easily.
And she'll do that for Last as well.
And roll for the effect, because I want to see exactly how it corrupts in this building. Phyllis, they seem like they're going to hold, but something is a little bit amiss about the way the grip is shaped. Like, these were built for climbing up, rather than for going down and actually having a good grip. The spikes on the bottom of the shoes where they would connect to dirt to give you really good cleat traction are curved.
Phyllis will just throw them away. Throw them over her shoulder.
Fuck these shoes.
Fuck them. I don't need no shoes.
Yeah, last is definitely going to be crawling down backwards.
Phyllis is small enough that I think it won't be too big of a problem.
And at the very bottom of the stairs, after a good 20 minutes of climbing down, and mind you, this is at a decent clip for what you're doing going down these stairs. It just takes a really long time to reach bottom. You can just see a sign on the door with a nice bright torch in front of it. Head Administrator's Office.
Last gets up, cleans probably some slippery crap off of her robe, and knocks.
Come in.
Opens the door.
The office itself is tiny. Compared to the building you just went through to get here, the office is just this small, cramped thing with a little man behind a desk that is barely over 4 feet tall. The man is. The desk is shorter.
Your office is very inefficiently placed, sir.
Yes, very much. Also, it's very dangerous.
But yes, you have to keep the students on their toes.
I don't think going down on their toes would be good.
Oh, you haven't met my students yet.
One way or another, though, we're Last and Phyllis, and we're here to ask if some people came here before.
Yes. I seem to recall some people recently. I've had a few students visits. When exactly?
Right, let me
Stamp
try that
something.
again. We are looking for people named Kantia and Percy, and they look like description.
Oh yes, the couple.
Ugh.
Lots of hand-holding. Though a bit of apprehension here and there. Couldn't really pick out why.
Once again, Last looks like she just bit into a lime.
Oh.
Yes. I saw that they enjoyed my little layout trick.
When did they come here?
Oh, that was a couple days ago. Can't really place when. I do remember that they came in wearing some rather funny outfits, though.
Do you know where they were going after that?
No, they're certainly not staying here. They tried to use magic to get down the stairs. Why do people always think that will work?
Magic is funny in here.
Yes, it's one of my favorite tricks.
Is that why Phyllis's torch was all weird?
Ah, nice wall sconce attached. Yes, you might actually make it here.
Phyllis is very good at Phyllising and magical stuff.
I'm very good at being.
But the point is, Kantia and Percy are dangerous.
Oh, they certainly didn't seem it when they got down those stairs.
I'm sure that's true, but Percy kind of used his magic to explode someone and then curse them so they couldn't get unexploded.
Well, that's rude.
That's not
He
just.
stamps again.
That's not just
You're-
rude. That's lethal.
Are they dead?
No.
No, they managed to survive and we've healed them and we've gotten some help to heal them better, but it's still bad. So we're warning as many people as we can and we're trying to find them.
What did they want from you?
Well, they wanted to enroll. They said they wanted access to the libraries, though he seemed more interested than she did.
They wanted to enroll in the North School, too.
I'm surprised they couldn't. They seemed pretty qualified.
They didn't let them in there either.
Yes, usually we have age limits regarding students, though we will make exceptions for the especially gifted.
What?
Well, you see, this portion is the university, while the regular academies are in the east and western districts. The north is our rival, officially speaking. Within certain age groups, we make allowances. Usually we require that you be over a set age to enroll, but he seemed qualified. She seemed not as qualified as he did.
I think she's older than he is.
I can never really pick out ages properly. That's what my secretary is usually for, but he's not in right now.
I'm 2 weeks old.
Well, you're certainly not qualifying then.
Okay. That makes sense.
She's pretty good. Also, she is a doll, so 2 weeks isn't really representative of her
life experience. Yes, I'm aware. I will note for you that you saw a kid outside, so either they are in the wrong section of the city, or that is the smartest kid you've ever met.
They were reading advanced math books and did point us towards this place, so...
Which means they knew where this office was, so yes.
Yep.
access to libraries. Maybe we should check that, but I don't really have the time.
And you don't really have the clearance either. You have to be a properly enrolled student to access the library facilities.
How long does that take?
Usually a week and a half, usually 2 weeks if there's an administrative holiday like today is.
And do I actually have to be here to be a student?
Well, yes, full time for at least 1 year.
Yeah. I'm not gonna
That complicates things. We've still got to find them.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, thank you very much for your help. Is there an easier way to get back upstairs?
Well, yes, if you go behind me and pull on the rope, and he just indicates a rope that you couldn't really make out against the back wall, it seems like it blends in pretty well. Just pull on that, you'll be out in no time.
Last's going to take a look at the rope and see if there's magic about.
There is some sort of magic on it that looks reminiscent of gates.
Oh, it's gate magic. Kinda.
Perhaps you're qualifying yet. But yes, it's a quick way in and out if you know where it is.
Okay. Phyllis, are you ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then Last is going to put a hand on Phyllis's head and pull the rope.
With just your hand on her head, she does not go with you, and you appear right next to a tree outside. You can't really make out the rope on it, but you're pretty sure it's right there. In fact, you're pretty sure you're still holding it, but it just doesn't seem visible.
Oh.
Can Phyllis reach the rope?
Yes, she can, rather easily.
Okay.
The entire office seems spaced for someone shorter than average.
Okay.
Taller than you, but shorter than average.
Then Phyllis will wait a bit and then pull the rope.
And you are...
Sorry.
Waiting a bit for Last to get out of the way.
Yeah, Last will move out the way, but when you come out, you'll see her kind of braiding grass together, oddly enough.
Did you pick it first?
Yeah.
Phyllis, the grass seems rather distressed.
Oh my god, why? Why? This is the worst. Did you read that thing about hoping that plants don't really have like plant machines, but rather they have souls and spirits, and those don't really mind being picked? or cut down, as long as there's still plants around.
They don't mind so much as they're distressed because they have just been picked and are being braided. They'll get over it in time, I'm sure.
Okay. Okay.
Last ties some grass into like a little string and then ties it in a bow around the invisible rope.
Mm. That's very clever and is going to cause so many problems. It's amazing.
You now have a grass knot sitting there.
Okay, so
in
it's
the air.
visibly floating in the air.
Yes.
Last looks quite pleased with herself and says, "Okay, so where should we go now, Phyllis?"
You will note you have been walking most of the day. It is getting pretty close to nightfall, and it will take time to get back to the Laughing Badger.
Oh. Maybe we should get back to the hotel. I don't want to not be there when the guy comes to have me fix his door.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd like to talk with, Julian again, but, we'll see if we have the time.
Okay.
I can do that on my own, if it's,
Yeah, I don't want to miss fixing the guy's door.
Mm-hmm. I assume, Ronia is just following along.
Yes, she is. You are free to head back to the Laughing Badger.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Last will do that. And she will politely wait for the guy to show up so she can fix his door.
We are going to end the session before that happens. You know, I was expecting us to go back to Evering immediately as soon as Loran finally met you guys again. But, you know, miscellaneous adventures. That can wait until next session.
Loran hasn't met with us yet, so...
Yeah, he's actually meeting back at the Laughing Badger at this point.
Xion is probably having a drink. Because there's alcohol here!
Hi,
There's a
Zion.
lot of alcohol here.
I'm gonna
Hello,
fix someone's door. They're gonna come here and tell me about it.
Oh. Okay. Huh.
I'm good at fixing doors.
I'm sure you are. Xion does not know the context.
This is like the rats in the basement.
Yep.
Okay. And I think that's a good spot to call it.
Alright.
Overnight, I'm sure there will be a few encounters. Maybe someone will spend time on a reading. Maybe someone will go meet somebody. But that can happen off screen.
Okay.
Or next session. So do you wanna stop streaming now?
Yep, in that case, thank you all for playing with me. Thank you, Josh, for running the session, and thank you, Ellen, for streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And thank you for watching.